What's going on, guys and gals? Bonafide Hustler here, and today it's just a quick open Q&A session. Plus, I need your help on something. So anyways, welcome to my channel. I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas, and I flip stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, big box stores, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and consignment stores in town. So that's what I do part-time. The other part of my time, I work on random stuff. The green room, workout channel, bunch of random things, and soon to be a private label kind of thing. So we can talk about that today if you guys want to. I got a comment yesterday in YouTube, and it was basically like, actually, it wasn't Facebook, behind the scenes, and it said, "When are you going to do your next live show?" Because I haven't done one in a while, and I've been busy editing a lot of the meetup videos. If you've watched my channel, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we just had a green room meetup here in Austin, Texas, and there's damn near 60 gigs of footage that I had to edit, and I got one more video left to go, and then you guys will see what it feels like to be in the admin's shoes, and plus what it feels like to be in the members' shoes when it comes to meetup week, which is essentially the week where the week right before our green room main event, and it's once a year. So we get a bunch of resellers around from all over the world, and they come here and they talk to each other, network with each other, they learn things, and we call it meetup week. So it's the 4th year we've done it. And yeah, one more video left to go to edit. I'll probably have that done tomorrow. But anyways, what's going on, guys? Hopefully I sound good, right? We got Terry Berry in the house. We got Darren in the house. Leisure Resellers. Yeah, so Leisure Reseller says, "You are behind on your videos, but I really like reliving the meetup." So there you go. I am one video away from being done, one. So that's pretty much the last one. We have Darren Eckelman saying, "Number 5, full support for the Bonafide Brigade." That's right, guys. The Bonafide Brigade is in full effect. So it leads me to my first kind of thing. All right, so if you're kind of enjoying the content on this Q&A, because there really is no dedicated way that this show is going to go, it's going to be here for about 45 minutes. So there's an open Q&A. It's kind of going the entire time. I do want to shed some light on my private label stuff, and I'll lead with this one thing, which is contest. So while you guys are here, and this is why I need your help, is because I'm crossing 26,000 subscribers. In fact, I crossed it like the other day, and it's more of like a give back time, because without you guys, like, I'd be nothing, right? Without you guys, there would be no green room. There would be no opportunity that I kind of capitalized on, and it would just be none of this. Like, it was because of YouTube. And if you see it on my last video, there's a point where I'm walking from the Lone Star Court to a bar, right? And the bar event's just where a bunch of members are going to meet up. But in that walk in between, I'm on a sidewalk in a beautiful Texas evening, and I kind of reflect for a second that none of this would have been possible without YouTube, or it all stemmed from YouTube. But it really all stemmed from you guys. Like, YouTube was just the tool, but if no one's watching YouTube, then what good is YouTube, right? It was really you guys coming to YouTube and showing some Bonafide Hustler support, some love, even if it was like the whiteboard days or the days where I used to do hauls in the hot ass garage, like things like that. So I do want to take a second and thank you guys. Right now, just like, thank you so much for the opportunity, but more importantly, like, help me thank you more by doing a contest. So I'm going to be filming a contest video probably tomorrow or the next day, and it's going to be a contest for crossing 26,000 subs. And I need some ideas, like ideas of maybe how to pick, or maybe something fun to do. I think I kind of know what the gift will be, or the prizes. I said plural, so definitely going to be multiple prizes. And just need some ideas on like what to do, like what's a cool activity. Are we going to guess M&Ms in a jar? What are we going to do? So give me some ideas, and I'll see if I can kind of get something started from that. So Thriller Gorilla Pick in the house. What's up, Chris? How's Austin today? Yeah, it's hot, but it's been raining today, so that's good. There's cloud cover, and we're supposed to get a rainstorm tonight, which is not good because I have a banger of a show coming up tonight with one of my friends who owns he's building his 4th Domino's franchise. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, we're talking about a straight up entrepreneur that went one of the most interesting routes to make his money. So that's tonight on the Green Room Hangout. I'm hoping the storm doesn't mess with my internet or any of that kind of stuff. Okay, so let me see. Clearing Clutter for Clarity says that's a really good title for your garage sale hauls, like Haul in Hot Ass Garage. I'm telling you, like back in the day, there was one video where it got so hot, like I literally like peeled my shirt off, and I was like, it's so hot, like I can't stand it, but I had to keep going. So we got other people. Terry Berry says, stop in and tell Chris he's a reseller with the hella good hair. I'm telling you, like my hair is growing out. It is growing and growing and growing. If you look at my Instagram today, you guys should be following my Instagram. I'm telling you right now. Like, I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This is kind of like off topic, but I do these Instagram stories a fair amount, so I'll show you some of my stories today. But there is a picture of my hair. Not that it matters, but it's in here, right here. Hair gains. Boom. It's getting longer and longer. Here's my food, and it just, you know how Instagram stories go. So food, random stuff. So that's under Bod Damn. That's my workout stuff, and go check it out if you need to. But my hair is getting long. I think my goal is to get it down to my shoulders or something like that. Leisure Reseller says, guess how many tacos the guys ate while in town for the meetup? I'm telling you, we ate a lot because there was one day where all the members were there, and it was just like nonstop kind of taco stuff going on. So a lot of tacos went down. Okay, cool. This is a good idea for a contest. Guess how much this item sold for? That's cat for breakfast. Okay, nice. I like that. Bonafide, Resell Rabbit quit thrifting on Amazon. Are you? Or am I worried that Amazon is dropping the ban hammer on people for random IP claims? You know, I think I guess I'll shed what I want to on this today. And there was a little bit more. There was an article somewhere today that I read. I forgot where I got it from. But anyways, I kind of shared it among the scenes with the admins behind the scenes. Not with the green room, but it was more alluding to writings on the wall, doom and gloom, and this is just sense. In fact, if you were at the green room meetup, we went to a store called St. Vincent's de Paul or something like that, one of these stores on Breaker Avenue. And while we were in there, you know, if you go in with a bunch of people to a thrift store, a bunch of resellers, like eventually everyone kind of conglomerates to one section of the store and just starts having conversation. And it's usually that time when maybe some people found some stuff where they've already checked out, but everyone kind of like, you know, gets together and starts talking about stuff. And I got hit with the question, what do you think is going to happen to Amazon? Or maybe I alluded or I interjected on one of those conversations, but either way, there was a conversation going down about the future of Amazon. And I really think that it is one of those things that is, you know, strike while the iron's hot, but like right now the iron's kind of warm and it's going to be cold one day, meaning I don't know if that opportunity is as great as it ever was for retail arbitrage purposes, maybe for online arbitrage. Like to me, it seems like Amazon wants to be an amazing player in the bringing goods from point A to point B space, but they really want to do away with the people that are not doing the right job moving forward. I'm not talking about you guys, okay? I'm talking about every other person out there that's kind of abusing the system. And every other brand that does business with Amazon like doesn't want that either. So not only does Amazon not want these you know, IP claims or whatever you call them, they don't want bad reviews, they don't want any of that. And the people that are repping these brands or the people that are the manufacturers of these brands don't want that either, right? It makes Amazon look bad, makes the brand look bad. Like no one wants this stuff. So if you had a company out there and, you know, people were kind of tarnishing your name or they were tarnishing your product or it was being sold counterfeit somewhere else and there was just really no, how do I say it? There's no control to the whole thing. Then one of the things that you have to do is kind of find a way to get those people out of there, right? And you have to fix the bleeding. So I think that's what's kind of going on right now. Like one of the ways to fix the bleeding is to honor what I read today, like immediate returns, like on products, like no questions asked. You don't even get to like talk to your seller, or the seller doesn't even get to talk to the buyer. Like there's no like behind the scenes, like, okay, I can give you your money back or submit proof. None of that's going to go on. Like it's like immediate returns from what I read on the article. So that's good. That's definitely a step in the direction of like phasing out, I think, third party or the bad third party people. So like I said, it's not you guys, but unfortunately people like us will have to pay the price of that for that, right? Because there's always some bad apple in the bunch that ruins it for everybody. And it's the reason why certain things just come and go and certain opportunities are there and they're just gone. Is because usually a bad apple kind of ruins it. So that's just my take on Amazon. I'm not heavily invested in Amazon. My private label product won't even make it to Amazon at all. It's going to be moving in more organic ways, and you'll see that on videos and stuff like that. But I like Amazon. I do. But I think as a third-party reseller, I just don't think it's the place to play, at least for me. So I do still think, you know, strike while the iron's warm. And while I still find good, new, and profitable products at garage sales and thrift stores to send in, I will. But I just, you know, I never want to have like any not any, but a majority of my eggs in that one basket, period. I just don't. So, okay, so I guess that's that. Let's see what else is going on. We have 54 people watching right now. Yeah. The longer the hair, Chris, the longer hair fits in the trucker hat style. Yeah, man, trucker hats are really awesome. I love trucker hats. Give me some more contest idea, guys. Give me some more contest ideas and ask me some questions. I'm here for about 30 more minutes. And I will definitely help you guys out as much as I can. I see a lot of interesting comments. Here's one from Fireside One. Amazon is really too complicated at this point to deal with as a reseller. As a beginner reseller, I would absolutely agree with that. As a seasoned reseller, you can try to find your ways around it, and there are very few. It seems like of 100% of the opportunities that were there 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it seems like half of those opportunities are still there. At least for me, half. So I play in that half, but I'm not sitting there getting bent out of shape. Like, why can't I get all these other 50% of the things going on with Amazon? I don't care about that. Like, I just know I can see kind of like the writings on the wall. They're going to really want the cream of the crop. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I don't think they're going to phase out all resellers. I just think they're going to want the cream of the crop, which could mean private label people, wholesalers, wholesale people. But I just don't. I don't see a lot of good stuff coming from these articles. Let's put it that way. Almost every article that you get from Amazon or some sort of news is never good. Like it's never like, oh yeah, that's amazing. Like everything that they've governed on has been detrimental to resellers. Like everything, like the book, the long-term storage fees, the textbook, stuff. Like all these things are just detrimental to people. They've never helped us out. So think about that for a second. Just think about it for 1 second. Like think about all the times that you've had negative things coming in from Amazon, and it's just been way more than positive things. So that's why the writing's on the wall, at least in my book, because historically you just have to continue that and go, okay, eventually the opportunity won't be there, period. That's just what I think. But Fireside says, I'm just trying to do more on Craigslist and offer up an eBay, and it's always okay. Yeah, I like those three as well. I do the local game. I do the eBay game. I like it a lot. It's still good. It's one of those are the two places. Those are definitely some places where the governing really is very little, and I like that a lot. They give you opportunities to really, especially eBay, give you opportunities to pair better with the platform, as in the form of fast and free and like guaranteed shipping and all this stuff, TRS status and all this. They give you opportunities to really work up. I just feel as if they're a lot more open to resellers, and they love resellers. I think eBay is definitely one of those places, but they still have to compete with Amazon a little bit. So that's why you see some of this new stuff rolling out. Darren Eckelman says, Chris, I miss your antique booth videos. Man, I know. The booth is doing okay. It's doing semi-okay because they're like a million. I always say this in every one of my videos, it seems, or at least these open talks. There are a million ways to make money, guys. A million ways, but just not a million minutes in the day. So I always feel that there's a positive correlation between my antique booth not doing super well to the amount of time that I invest in other projects. Does that make sense? So if I invest a lot of time into other things, the time has to come from somewhere. So my booth is doing okay. It's just not doing amazing, and it's not doing completely terrible. It's just doing okay. I wish it could do super amazing, but that's gonna need time, right? So I have to figure out what's that perfect amount of time that gives me, for every hour I put into the booth a week, I will get, X amount of money out of it. Like that's something that I still have to figure out. But the booth is already, it's already done. It's built out. All it basically is now is just I consider it like a storage space of old, vintage, retro, and antique goods where I get paid to store it there. Or I pay them a fee and a commission fee to keep it there. But it's like just for here's a perfect example. I sold a trunk that I bought 5 weeks ago. Like E-Money and I were out in his truck, and had this been my vehicle, we would have never picked this up. But since we had his truck there, we found an old antique chest, right? It was $10, or I think it was $15. I asked for 10, we got it for 10, and it was this big thing. I don't know if we filmed that day or not. I'm pretty sure we didn't for some reason. And that thing sold in my booth recently for like 90 something, like after all the fees and the commission was taken out, like 90 something. So it was a good hustle. But without the booth there's no way I could have moved that product. I don't like not being able to pick up products when I go out to sales or thrift stores because there's some sort of a size constraint, right? So the only reason, like if there's a size constraint, I mean, I always like to move things that have that big or small, it doesn't matter. Like I like to be able to move them if they have the ROI potential. And so there are many things that I decide not to move because like, okay, I don't want to get paid 20 bucks for that. Like that's just garbage money to me. Like I got to be into it for more if I'm going to risk the, you know, I have to invest time in padding the product, packing it. And when it comes to shipping, like I really try to stay with things that are like about shoe size or smaller. And that's just kind of like how I like to do my eBay business. You can stack more of those things on a wall too. But when it comes to bigger things, I'm thinking a lot of times the booth or Craigslist, right? House it in my house, you know, keep it in my residence for a week or two, and hopefully it's gone after that. And that's when I get into much bigger things. So anyways, that's the end of that whole thing. It just gives you an idea of like why the booth is there, like why I keep it. And if I could invest more time and get X amount, like I got to figure out what that hour is, because every hour counts, especially when I'm trying to make a difference for myself and people out there. An hour matters a lot. You know, I don't like to waste an hour. Clay and Clutter for Clarity says, I'm with you on that. Like I like selling small items. Yep. Melissa Francis, contest idea. How many hats do I own? Ooh, it's a great contest question. Man, I love it. Stuff gotten by 80. Hi, people. What's up? Good to see you. Bad connection, my neck of the woods, signing out. Well, sorry to see you, Deb. Maybe I'll see you on the next Bonafide Hustler Hangout. Henry S., you stole a trunk. No, I didn't. I bought a trunk from a garage sale. Fireside One, do I do any special interest website selling? No. I sell a lot of antique fishing tackle on private websites. I do not do that. Leisure Reseller, where's the booth located? I'm from the Austin area. It's in Austin Antique Mall, booth 199. Go check it out. Yeah, Adam A517 says, yes, you can't serve all masters, only so many minutes within a week. Definitely only so many minutes, that's for sure. Cody Orgel from Australia, what's up? He says, hey, mate, what is up? Cody, good to see you. Going to the bottom of the feed here. Oh, nice. I like this one. Jeffrey Lower says, contest idea, make a YouTube video about the top 5 reasons you follow the Bonafide Hustler. I like that one. That's pretty good because that will give me insight on things to continue doing. That's good. You know what I've noticed recently, and this is, well, I have an idea. I can't tell that idea here because it's too good of an idea, but just be paying attention to my channel. There's going to be an interesting ride along coming up. Trust me. Mr. Frank Castle, 168 times 60 is how many minutes you're in the week. Okay, cool. Interesting. Chris, have I ever gone to the Goodwill outlet in Austin, meaning the bins? San Antonio's are kind of like, I'm wondering about the Austin ones. You know, the last time I went to the bins, it's just, you know, here's the thing about the bins. Hey, what's up, 10K on the bed? Good to see you, man. The bins are an interesting place to source. It can be for some people, and it can not be for some people. Okay, for me, I like walking around. I like looking at the air outside. I like smelling, you know, the day, right? Like it's weird, right? It's very weird, but I don't like to be confined. Let's put it that way. And I say this because when you deal with the bin kind of thing, I feel as if you're inside a place a lot. And I don't even say, like, I don't say that without knowing what I'm talking about. Like, I've been to the bins before. It's a kind of like a warehousey looking building, and just a lot of noise. And for me, it wasn't right for me. Like, it just wasn't my setup. I like going around, socializing with people, being outside. I like to be going from point A to point B, like, what am I going to find in the next place? And I suppose you can equate that feeling to, like, what's in the next bin and all that kind of stuff. But I think with the bin place, you're dealing with a lot of competition, one, and two, you're really sorting through a lot of junk. And for me, I like to see things that have like made it past the junk piles and has made it to like a store shelf. That's just me. And there's nothing wrong with doing either way of hustling. It's just that if you try to mimic someone's way of hustling and you're like, I have to do it this way because this person's making a killing doing it, I have to do this. You have to figure out what you really like in life first, because if you got to gravitate towards what you like. If what you like is garage sales, then gravitate towards garage sales only. Kill garage sales, and before you know it, you may make it $3,000 to $5,000, you know, like a month, no problem. But for some people, that's bin. Like, we got someone in the green room making $10,000, you know, gross from bins a month or more, and that's just what that person likes to do. Like, that's just it. But I think last I heard, the person's also investing 30 hours into the bins, so it kind of gives you an idea of, like, you know, risk versus reward, or like what does it take to make the 10K. It kind of shows you like what's at stake there. I personally like garage sales. I like online businesses. I like the green room university a lot. That's why we built it. I like the idea of a private label product. I like making videos about fitness and workout stuff. That's just what gets me going. So moving forward in life, like I'm never going to not align myself with something I don't like. Like I must have some sort of vested interest into it before I commit any amount of time to it, or potentially commit time to it. So that's the reason why I do what I do. And that's the reason why you're starting to see some of this stuff bleed into my channel, like the fitness stuff. And I can't help it. Like I literally cannot help it because I breathe that stuff in real life. That is my life. My life is fitness and like being outside and like balance and a lifestyle. Like that is me. And for me to like sit there and fake it to you guys, it's just not fair. Like it's just not. So that's why you start seeing it bleed into all sorts of videos. And that's the reason why. Like I feel as if you guys have helped me get here. But I have to do a service back to you guys, like showing you like it's not all about the halls in the hot garage. Like it's not all about the whiteboard. It's about other things that got me to this like positive mentality and the balance. Like that, I feel as if it's my due diligence to share that with you, if that makes sense. Now, if you don't like any of that kind of stuff, you know, I would honestly say it's probably time to get out of the channel. Like it's probably time to unsub. That's just what it is. Like I can say that with the utmost confidence that I'm looking for the right kind of people to follow my journey. That's just it. So I said, someone else like the other day on one of my videos was like, this channel is getting boring. Like I got to unsub. And, you know, instead of just like, delete it or whatever, I kept it up there, first of all. And second of all, I replied to it. And I replied like, hey, you know, thanks for being here, at least for whatever amount of years you were here for. And thanks for supporting me because I really do appreciate it. And then I was like, sad to see you go, but, you know, thanks again for the support. And that's what I wrote, because I really feel as if like if someone watched me to a certain point and then it's like, yeah, I'm showing some of this other stuff, then at least I got to thank them for being here and helping me out. Like that's important. So anyway, and some people replied back to that person in kind of a nasty way, but either way, you know, I appreciate any amount of help that someone's given me. And I hope this next kind of thing that we're dealing with, or the fitness thing that I'm bringing into the channel more and balance stuff, is something that you guys will eventually understand and go, okay, now I see why he's doing it. Like, you know, it might take a year, it might take some months, but I think eventually you guys are going to figure it out. So, yeah. So I don't mean it like get the hell out of here. I don't mean it like that. Please don't like think that's what I mean. But I want to tell you guys like when I have a course when I have a calling or a course in life to go, like I'm not going to detract from that, and I'm not going to fake it. Like I'm going to make sure that you guys know like the course that I'm going, and I'm going to take you guys with me. I've always like took you guys with me. Like it doesn't matter if it's like basic vacations in California, like year one of my Bonafide Hustler channel. Like that has nothing to do with reselling, but like it's still, I'm taking you guys with me. Like it's just, you guys got to see like what I'm doing, because, and I'll say this because it's a little bit of ranting, but I'll say this as it is. Last week I was spotted at the post office by a person, and this person like nearly lost their mind because they were just like, oh my god, like it's a Bonafide Hustler, like, and looking around like, oh my god, this guy's a celebrity. And I thought it was like kind of comical. It was kind of funny, and I was like, wow, you know, I'm just a normal person, right? And then we got to talking, and about, you know, maybe 30 minutes into the conversation, it's just like, you guys, you should stop being afraid of who you are. You know, you should stop being, you should stop saying things like you're no better than anybody else. She goes, you have a gift, you know, and your gift is to share this with people so that they can pick and choose what, you know, how they want to apply it to their lifestyles. But she's like, you should never be afraid of anything like that. You should. And I really took that and I was like, you know what, like that's really, really good advice. And she's like, for every one person that might like, you know, leave you or leave your journey, she's like, there's probably like 9 more people that want to like be with you, you know, and get inspired by you. So that's the reason why I'm going to continue. And, you know, if you've made it this far and you got to go, like, it's okay. Like, don't worry. So, but I want to tell you, like, I mean, she was like, you have a lot more to give. I think like we're just seeing the beginning of these things. And I think she's right. So anyway, Darren Eckelman says Bonafide Brigade for life. That's right. All right, let me see some more comments here. Contest of how many push-ups or how much weight I can lift. Wow. Okay, maybe. Hugh G says, have I ever gotten into an altercation and had a bad experience with another flipper or reseller? No. And I'll say it like this is not being cocky or anything like that. I'm a pretty big dude. Like right now I'm probably pushing like 195. Like I'm, you know, like I'm not carrying any of this weight in my midsection. So it's like pretty much all muscle. Like, and I say that because most people like in life don't go up to people like me and like screw with them. Like that's just what the way it's been. I've been bigger and more crazy looking back in college, and like people really didn't like, instead of being inviting and like, I was making a lot of friends, don't get me wrong, but it was more of like fear based. When people would get around me, they'd be like, oh, like, hello, like I'm this person, you know, like kind of scared. And I'm like, I'm, you know, chill out. Like, I'm not going to kill, you know, I'm not going to kill you basically. But I get kind of like that now. Like even when I do some of the things that I do, or I walk around or something like that, people kind of like take double takes, triple takes, because they're just like, he's kind of a big dude. So to answer your question, I haven't gotten any altercations with a reseller. I've gotten, I mean, the closest I've ever got to an altercation would have to be at this one garage sale. And I was eyeing something that was in the garage. Like there was a sale, you know, clearly there was a garage sale, but then like the garage started, and then there was like other stuff in the garage that wasn't for sale, but there was a remote controlled car there, like a radio controlled car. It was a Hummer, and it was one of the big ones. And I'm like ready to think in my head, that's like, I can resell that for 20 bucks, I mean, for $100. And the person's like, I asked the person, is that thing for sale? And they're like, yeah, you know, we could probably sell that. And in my mind, I'm going, okay, hopefully they say 20 because I can flip that and blah, blah, blah. But the person says 40. So when someone says 40, the natural thing to do is to like sit and pause, and don't ever like snap back and like, you know, just like sit and pause, because if you sit and pause, there's a really good chance the person's going to be like 30, you know, 25. So, or what are you willing to pay for it? But if you go ahead and say like, how about 30? Like you've already like said 30 is the absolute like price that you're going to be paying, like no less than that. So it's a bad move. Like you really want to get that awkward silence and like get things going. Now, in the time that awkward silence was going down, someone had come behind me. I was kind of crouched down looking at this thing, but I made sure not to touch it, because once you touch things, you show that you're interested in things. So I'm like kind of like close to it. And I'm not touching it, but I'm interested in it. It's clearly I'm interested. And this guy comes up behind me and was like, how much for the Hummer? And the guy goes, you know, I told this guy right here, $40. He's like, let me, and he goes like that. And I go, I'll buy it. That's what I say. Like, I'll buy it. And I'm crouched down. And the guy's like, dude, that wasn't right, man. That wasn't right. I'm like, first of all, I was like, you weren't touching it. Second of all, like, you didn't say you wanted it. So there, you know? And so the guy's like, that's messed up, dude. That's messed up. And then I got up, and I could tell after I got up and I turned around, like the dude was like, anyway, like, okay. You know, like he stopped talking, and I picked up the Hummer and I went. So no, that's like the only altercation that would have never turned out to be a bad altercation. But that was like the only one that I can possibly think of that had the capacity of maybe going further. So that's it. Yeah, it's kind of a funny story, but Thriller Gorilla Picker says, you remind me of Dwayne Johnson, a huge guy, but very friendly and motivating. His Instagram is super motivating. Yes, the Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, is like an amazing person. I've actually been just as big as that guy, like back in college. There was a time when I was like 226, like really low body fat and just enormous. And this is like before the days of like black market steroids and Instagram people taking all kinds of fake stuff. Like this was me with hard work, with a lot of like peanut butter jelly sandwiches and chicken and protein shakes. And I got big. I got really, really, really big in college. Like, I don't think anyone understands that, but every now and then, like at least once a year, I will run into someone from college, and they're always like, oh my God, like they look at my wife, they look at me, they look at my wife, they go, you have no idea who this guy was in college, do you? And they're like, no. And he like, this dude was a legend. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but trust me, like the story is there. So, but I did it the right way. You know, I'm never one to cheat, and I never want to mislead anybody. Like when someone was like asking me like, what do you do? How much do you bench? What do you take? It was, I gave them the right answers, which was like, it doesn't matter how much you bench. I eat a lot of good food, and I eat a lot. I eat in a caloric surplus most of the time. And then the third one was like, I don't do any roids. Like, I don't do anything fake. I just don't do that. And I even had people on roids and on black market stuff like asking me like, hey man, tell me your secret. I'm going to get it out of you one day. And they would tease me about this all the time. And it's because hard work trumps, you know, cheating every single time. That's just the way it is. You're never going to, you can cheat. You'll get away for a short period of time doing something. But when the real person comes out, you know, you can't fake realness. You just can't do it. So I spent a lot of time in the gym back then, and I still spend a lot of the time in the gym now. And I really do feel as if that's one of the biggest things that I can offer people out there is the gift of fitness and being well balanced and including that in your lifestyle, right? Yeah, I would always get like, how much do you bench? Like, what do you eat? It's always like the same questions. Like, what do you bench? How much do you eat? No one ever asked anything like, how many hours do you sleep at night? Are you a low stress individual? Is your diet pretty much clean, or do you eat, dirty sometimes? They never asked the most important things, but they asked the things which they thought were the secrets, right? Which is like bench press and what's he eating? Here's the number one. This is one of the number one. What kind of supplements are you on? That was one of the biggest questions I ever got in college ever. Like nearly every single day. Like, what kind of supplements you're on? Like, supplements are going to cure everything. Anyway, kind of funny. Water intake, Steve. My water intake. So this is something that I'm trying out today. Here we have a half gallon of water. I filled this up at the gym. And I only fill it up. This is something I'm trying out. I'm going to try to do 58 days of this. But there's a half gallon of water right here. At the gym, I had a half gallon going in of water plus pre-workout. And I drank it all, had a great workout. It was awesome. And then before I left the gym, I filled it back up to a half because my goal by the end of the day is to have this, this part done. So I still got this to go. I've been drinking water today, like in other cups and stuff. I should have come up here and like been drinking this thing, but I'm going to see if I can go 58 days because that's what it takes for a human being to build a crazy habit. If you're adequately hydrated, first of all, like number one, you're going to feel way better about everything. Everything in your life will feel way better. It's just natural. It will boost your internal body's metabolism by 10 or 15% just naturally. So if you're like, oh, how can I burn calories and still keep kind of like the same things that I'm doing that I like, just be adequately hydrated, almost overhydrated, right? You're going to notice a couple other things. You're going to feel good. Like I said, your skin's going to get better, right? Your skin hydration, your face, everything, arms, it'll just feel softer and better. Like that's just because of water. And then last, as a diuretic kind of function, it definitely helps your kidneys and flushing out all the things that need to be flushed out. Yeah, and it really helps with performance. Like if you're running or doing cardio or stuff like this, being adequately hydrated absolutely leads to less headaches and things like that. So anyway, Reseller Niche Podcast says, it's hard to drink a gallon a day. I could do about half. Believe me, when you start doing it, you see the benefits, you'll start to realize that, like for me on a workout, like I don't feel right unless I down a gallon of water before my 45-minute mark on my workout. Like that's just me now. Like I can't reverse that. I've done it for so long that cannot be reversed. Because I know how I feel when I'm adequately hydrated. Like I'm stronger, I'm better, like I think clear. Like that's just from water and some pre-workout. Like that's just that. So here we go. Hopefully I refill it for 58 days. Yeah, I got 58 days, man. I'm telling you. When I was at the Green Room seminar like that, we closed it out with a healthy habits portion. And I definitely, we have some people in the Green Room life doing some of these challenges and stuff. And I see like, oh, Chris talked about this or that, or here's a 58-day thing I'm doing. 58 days is very important. It takes a long time, a long time. One of the most recent challenges, I wouldn't say it's recent, but 3 months ago, I did a challenge calling what was it? 30 days of meet someone new every day. So every single day of my life, I had to meet someone new. And it was supposed to like be, to lead with opportunity. It was supposed, like the advantages of doing this was supposed to be opportunity. You have a bigger posse when it comes to like launching a product, or you start expanding yourself and learning like what you're not good at, you might find in someone else, right? And so I did that for 30 days and it was tough. Like I missed about 3 of them, but I met a lot of really cool individuals by doing that exercise, and I captured every 30 days in there. But when you do something for 38 days or 58 days, you have to understand that it has to be something that you really care about. Because I noticed that in the Green Room Life, we did the 30-day challenge for meet someone every day. And it started out with like 10 people doing it, and then it was like 9, then 8. And eventually at the end, it was just me doing it because it's my kind of like challenge, it's my dream, it's my, whatever. And my energy is attached to it and no one else's was. So it's one of the things that you'll realize out there when you do challenges and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to find a tag team partner or a workout partner or something when you do challenges. And that's going to be the ultimate goal, is to find someone to kind of share the energy with you when you do stuff like that. So if you're doing some 58-day challenge or 38-day challenge with water or whatever, like involve your family, involve your kiddos, like involve people, you know, and that are around you all doing the same challenge, and you're more likely to succeed with that. Okay. 10K on the bay. I love this. How can I get ripped with little to no effort? This is basically impossible. Also, can I play Stairway to Heaven? I was able to play it back in high school. Can't play it anymore. Fireside 1 got to go. Thanks, Chris. You're welcome. See you later. Here we go. Drinking a gallon of water a day really isn't that hard. Carry around a gallon jug everywhere. Yep. So here's Reseller Niche podcast. That's cool. Good habits are everything. I started drinking a large glass of water. When I first get up in the morning after I heard you and College Picker talking about it. I still do that today. I've been doing it for like forever. I can't remember the last a day where I miss a large glass of water in the morning as the very first thing that I do. In fact, there is a large cup right next to my sink at my bathroom. Like, I don't even get to go in my kitchen until I drink my first cup of water. Let me see. So yes or no? Hopefully you can. Let's go with private label real quick. Private label. Go. I filed. Let me know if you guys can still see me and hear me. I just realized I'm on my brother's internet. This was a huge, but he lives right next door to me, so that can hear me. Private label. Like, where am I on my private label product? When I heard other people's private label journeys, that it takes time, right? We had someone speak at the Green Room seminar about a private label journey. He's building a product, right? Not necessarily a brand, but a product. And he was like, it takes, you know, from the point that you decide like you're going to do it to the very end, 7 months, right? Think about that. 7 months. You don't even see a dime in return, dime in sales, nothing, right? 7 months. Are you willing to take on a project for 7 months where you don't see a single bit of, you know, like profit or your single sale? Think about it. Like, you buy, it's like saying you buy something from a garage sale and you hold it for 7 months, then you get to list it. Like, it just sounds bonkers, right? But that's what new things are all about. Like, new and amazing things sometimes take time, or not sometimes, they almost always take time, especially something new. And for my private label product, I thought I could circumvent that. I was like, I'm gonna do it faster. Like, I'm gonna do it better and faster. But it's not happening that way, right? So I started my private label journey probably 4 months ago. And when I say I started my private label journey, that's when my brainstorming and everything really got kicked into high gear, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I thought that the best way to really to go with this was to build something that I could mature into and I could be really passionate about down the line. So I built a brand. Like, I essentially built a brand. I got the websites all lined up. I got the social media accounts lined up, and I had the vision of what I wanted to create. And about 2 months ago, I decided to start building this thing, and building it as in like building it fabrication wise, like building it, not building infrastructure, but building an actual product. So I did it, and the product is here. The product is in my house. It's actually in boxes, and some of it's in my kitchen. So if you ever see a video from my kitchen, look really hard. You might see my product. But I wanted to build something that I was really passionate in. I wanted to build something that I could mature into. Like, I could be the lead person behind it, but never really be the face of it, right? Even though I'll probably be the face of it for at least a solid probably 2 to 4 years, something like that. If it starts to do well, like, I can just see this thing. It's something I am so passionate about that I really think that it's just going to work out. I just don't see how it couldn't. Like, it's just me. Like, it's real. It's not like some fake stuff to make a bunch of money and so I can be on a yacht in the Caribbean. Like, no, it's not that. Like, it's about a message. It's about a message, and the product has to deal with a message. So there are very few people that know what I'm talking about. Like, very, very few. There's probably less than 7 people. And that's for a reason, because 2 days ago I had to trademark it. And the trademark stuff, you know, all this stuff costs money, and making the product and everything, and sourcing it from sourcing pieces from China, sourcing pieces from the USA, finding someone in town to like assemble it all, make it all good. Then I still got to buy the boxes that this product is going to come into. I got to buy other things that are going to brand it, much like when you buy an iPhone, you open up an iPhone, it's like an experience, right? The iPhone's not coming in a paper sack. It's not coming in a poly bag. It's coming in a really nice box where it's part of the experience is like, oh my God, I got an iPhone. It's in the rectangular box and the box is built really well. And you know, when you have an iPhone, you just know that feeling. It just feels really good. So that's some stuff down the road I have to take care of. But the trademark's been filed. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. It's still going to take 3 months for me to get the trademark. And now I start to see where the 7 months thing is starting to come into play pretty quickly. Because if you're building a brand, which is what I'm building, I'm not building a product, even though I have built a product, but I'm building a brand behind it. Like it's something real. It's something that I can grow into, and it's something interesting. That's a different story. Like I have to be thinking protection, like get all the, things done that I can get done that are in my control. And I'm pretty sure I'm still going to miss some, but I'm trying to get all that done before I make sure that the thing gets launched. Now, the first product isn't anything very special, but it's more like the message behind it and the movement behind it that is the most important thing. So that's coming out in probably 2 to 3 months. And in those 2 to 3, between now and 2 to 3 months from now, I'm going to be building a Shopify front and getting a little bit more web presence ready for the product and that kind of stuff. I mean, in fact, I'm actually bringing this product on vacation with me so I can like shoot it in different locations and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely being considered right now, is I have to bring it to certain places. I have to still put it on video and like do things with it. And then you start to realize, because when wintertime comes, I don't want to be able, I know when wintertime comes, it won't be the right time to like be like, okay, now I need to find like a perfect evening to shoot this thing or a perfect sunny day. Like, it might not happen in wintertime. It just might not. So I'm going to take the advantage now and do that now. So that's what the private label item is right now. I can't discuss much more than that. Like, what is the per price unit cost of this one versus that one? That I know it, but I can't discuss it with you guys. I can't discuss projected ROI with you guys. I can just tell you that I'm going to be moving it more conventional ways, like not Amazon or anything, but more like organic conventional ways. So there you go. That's that. I wish I could show you guys. Oh, okay, so everyone that's seen the product, for the most part, everyone, I would say 95% of the people that have seen the product from a picture or like in real time, like holding it, has thought like, I want one. Like they're just like, I want that. Like when can I have one? That's like the real. I'm not just because I'm there showing it to them. I feel as if they're like, whoa, like, wow, that's cool. That's very like noticeable. Like, oh my gosh, like that's cool. That's usually what the feedback has been on this product. Like everyone's like, wow, like when they see them, they're just like, holy crap, that's cool. So that's where it is right now, right? Yeah. So that's what it is. Now, the funny thing is, well, I won't even say more than that. I could start giving it away, but I'm not going to. So if you want to see more of when that thing actually finally drops or the hints about it, all that kind of stuff, you got to go check out my other channel on YouTube. It's called BODDAMN, BODDAMN. That's the other channel. There's I'm putting about 2 to 3 videos a week on that channel up now. And if you're going to go to that channel, there's nothing resale related there. There's no money making this or that over on that channel. There's just a lot of fitness and lifestyle and balance stuff. That's just what you're going to get when you go to BODDAMN channel. Okay. So yes, GGC is saying it's a mysterious item. He's not telling us, and Schwartz Knox saying it's like the Bermuda Triangle of products. I know it is, but I really can't say much. Now, as soon as this trademark thing goes through, well, that's a different story, because that is a whole different ballgame, because I have the product here. Remember that, like I have it here. So the second I get the trademark, or if I have to redo the trademark or whatever, like it's here, like it's ready. So 10K on the Bay. Can you say if your product is related to your other channel? Yes, it is. 100%. It's more related to that channel than this channel. So there we go. All right, 10K. That's enough questions. Enough questions from you. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything until it's being sold already. Did I go to China or overseas to get it started? No, I did not. How did I go about getting one of the pieces of this product that I got made? It took probably 2 to 4 hours researching on Google certain things, and then getting back quotes, and that was annoying. And then you get prototypes of quotes, which are really annoying. But these were photograph prototypes, so that was less annoying. And yeah, that was probably the most annoying part of the whole thing, was the prototypes, them showing you like what it's going to look like, and then me not liking it. Like, that was really important. In fact, when I authorized a piece of the final product, I wasn't even 100% like all about it. But when it made it to my house, I was all about it, because when I saw it in real life, I was like, whoa, like this looks way better than I thought it was going to look. So I'm not happy about it again. But I started thinking, and this is kind of true of real life, like if you try to make everything 100% and you try to be a perfectionist, you're more liable to fail than anything, right? Like, I'm not going to have obsession by perfection or whatever you call it. Like, that just, to me, I'm issuing out something at 90%. That's what I did with my first book. And, if I try to make all the kinks out of the first book or the typos or whatever, it might not have ever gotten launched, like, honestly. So I'm a firm believer that you'll never make it to 100%. There's always going to be something that you could do better, and there's always something that you can do, you can improve. But that's what, edition 2 is for. That's what the next product is for. So you can learn from these things. But this first product, like, I am content with every little piece of it except for one small micro thing. And it's so micro that I don't think it really even matters. But it's the smallest thing to me. I'm like, the next things that I make won't have this issue. So anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to hear more lifestyle talk, I'm going to be on 10K on the base channel next week, and we're going to try to go raw and like uncut and like really, like give you guys like really awesome, like, sorry, phone. We're going to try to give you some really raw and like amazing content. So I'm gonna make 10K on the Bay. I promise right now that show is definitely gonna be a little bit more like, this is the real thing going on, but that's on his channel, I think next Monday or something like that. Go check it out. I think that's pretty much that. Do you have any more questions? Let me know. Yeah, let me know. So which day next week? Ask 10K on the Bay, but I think we're at like Monday at 1 o'clock. If everything is right, and we were supposed to be at this week at Monday at 1 o'clock, but things kind of got out of whack, and it's just kind of like the entrepreneur kind of schedule right there. When you're an entrepreneur, your schedule just sometimes just runs away from you, right? Things happen, and it's just what happens. But next Monday at 1, I think, is when we're going to be doing it. So Monday Central Time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be on that channel. And we're going to go pretty raw, and definitely, I'll try to go unrehearsed, and that's usually as raw as I can usually get, is when I'm not rehearsed. And so, any more questions? I'll get like 5 more minutes. Let me know. 78 people watching right now. We have 44 upvotes, 1 downvote. Look, guys, I think I broke it down to you guys pretty simply on this video. You kind of know where, like, the direction that I'm kind of heading with this stuff. If you're looking for like old school hauls and stuff, I might do one here and there, but this channel is all really about helping you guys out. And I know that you guys are seeing some of this like fitness stuff bleed through. And I know I said this earlier, but there were also like 30 people earlier. Now we got 74. So if you could help spread the word for other people, if you were in my comment feed and you see people like, hey, I wish they would like stop talking about fitness and how like a balance is so important. Like, look, it's that important that we can't stop talking about it. Like, that's essentially what I'm trying to say. So if you're pro team Bonafide here, and we got the brigade in full effect, when you're in the comment feed, either live on my videos or you're on the comment feed and you're posting a comment, but you're reading other comments, how that's what YouTube is all about. It's about being entertained. Then I want you guys to speak for me, right? I really do. I trust you guys to speak for me. Those are that are part of my Bonafide brigade. I want you guys to speak on my behalf and go, you know what, like, if you really believe in it, then that's what it is. If you don't believe in it, but you have hope and you realize, like, you know what, he's going to show us some good stuff, then at least say what I've said. Like, put it down there. And speak on my behalf. Go for it. Like, I really do give you guys the authority to do that, because I can't get to all the comments, and I'm not really all about deleting a comment. I might delete 1 or 2 a week, but they're really, really nasty comments, and just they don't belong. But other ones that are constructive criticism and stuff, that does belong, and I can't get around to answering all of them. But I really want to, if you guys can help me out, that'd be greatly appreciated. And so any way that you can help me out, usually that way, or hitting a like, as something as simple as a like, really, really goes a long way on the Bonafide Hustler channel. It really does. It's one of the reasons why I really like this Instagram stories thing. So if you follow me on Instagram, which is boddamn, right? I have an Instagram for my Bonafide Hustler account, but I don't put anything on it. But the boddamn one, I'm like daily, I'm on this thing, and I like it because I can see who is watching the stories. And I like that a lot because it shows me like some really diehard people that want to change their lives and stuff. And so today, yeah, I showed some dumb pictures about me and my long hair, but outside of that, it was like healthy diet stuff. Yeah, like it's not hot outside, so I'm gonna go ride a bike right here. Wifey's hungry. Kind of a funny picture. Here's what I ate this morning for breakfast. I guess oatmeal. Late leg day, blah blah blah. We have base camp at the leg workout. We have some deadlift stuff I'm doing. We have my pre-workout in a bottle right there. We have hair gains. Bam. We have some of the stuff that I'm eating to get me lean. Well, I'm still lean, but whatever. This is how I'm actually cooking it through the smoker. We have some minutes on some foil, some balsamic vinegar, and some no salt seasoning, and you'll get this. Of course, you gotta cook it. So there you go. There's some skewers. Me interviewing someone on a show, but that's essentially it. So I'm putting a lot of like instant things that are very unfiltered on that boddamn Instagram. Go check it out if you get a chance. Through the gorilla picker, Chris, it does not matter selling fitness. It all ties into making cheddar. It absolutely does. Like, I don't think I could have had the success early on when I was like super full-time, like reseller without having the fitness in check. Like fitness is what made me like, it has always made me think clearer. It's kept me one step ahead of the game every single time. It's one thing. It's the one thing in life that I've stuck with the most. Like that is the number one thing that I would consider myself an expert at, right? Is fitness and balance. Like fitness is in the gym, that's okay, but balance is earned. Like you have to experiment a lot of ways. You have to have highs and lows to know balance, right? And I've had all that kind of stuff. And I know what it takes to live a balanced lifestyle. I know, trust me when I say like, you need to get active. When I say that, I am not saying it because I'm about to launch some dumb product or whatever. I'm not saying it because, it's the cool thing to say. I'm saying it because it's what I do. All right. So be thinking of those kind of things. I don't ever like to mislead people on my channel. And like, you're not seeing some fake Bonafide hustler. In fact, you're probably seeing a much more detuned Bonafide hustler on my videos. And I've thought about that for future videos. Like, why not just unleash the fury that is the Bonafide hustler, right? Because you're not getting all of it. Trust me, you're not. But I think I'm going to, probably do that in some of the next coming months and weeks. You're going to start seeing a different side. And it's going to be good because there's no sense to have a detuned Bonafide. We got to show the real thing. So Picking for Profit said Instagram is the best tool out there. It's so underutilized, but it's on its way up. Hey, Picking for Profit, hit me up on Facebook. I have a question for you, by the way. 10K on the base says, what's the watered down BH all about? What's about this right now? This kind of like, when I was looking back at some of the vlogs I'd filmed on the meetup, like, I know I'm kind of like energy deprived, but that's not the real Bonafide hustler. Like, trust me, like there's a much more raw Bonafide hustler behind there, like a much more animal of a person behind there. And it's just in a much more hardcore, like, this is what it is. Like, this is the way to do it. Like, I kind of tell you, I tell these guys behind the scenes, like, this is how you do it. Like, this is it. And I'm showing them balance and fitness and all kinds of stuff. And like, this is how you do it. Like, I'm not lying to them. Like, this is what you do. But, what makes it on the film is a little bit more detuned stuff because sometimes of my communication style, different stuff. Like, I realize the video has to be more of them based and the members based, not so much me. So that's the reason why it's detuned. But I would say that the most accurate form of me is if you ever see some of those funny ride-alongs with me and my brother, and we're just joking around, singing and being stupid, like that's a little bit more me, like in real life. So anyway, so do your thing, brother, and know how the haters are. Keep hustling. Yeah, haters are haters. Just what it is. I think the lead thing about, how do I explain this? Like, I don't think there is any amount of success without haters in this world. Like, if you're heading the right direction and if you're doing things in your life and you're acting on things, making mistakes, and you're making triumphs, I think that's when the haters come. Like, the haters start coming when good things start to happen. They call it crabs in a bucket mentality, blah, blah, blah. But essentially what it is like, there's a bunch of crabs in the bucket. Like, the crabs could arguably be maybe, if you look at it in the reseller sense, like the crabs are the resellers. Like, okay, we all start out from ground zero. Like when we all build a YouTube channel, we're all crabs in a bucket. And then eventually some, crabs start trying different things. They're trying to get out of the bucket. They're trying, they're doing paid groups versus non-paid groups. They're doing seminars versus workshops versus, I've seen all kinds of stuff out there. I've seen Patreon accounts, I've seen merch, I've seen books, I've seen courses. And these are all crabs trying to come out of the bucket. And there's nothing wrong with coming out of the bucket, because how are you supposed to know what's on the other side of the bucket, which is pretty much amazing stuff. But how are you supposed to do it without climbing out of the bucket in the first place? But the problem with this mentality is that the other crabs in the bucket don't want to see this thing succeed. And when I say that, it's not all you guys and all the people that are thumbsing up everything, and it's some of the other people that are haters that are like, you know what, let's not let the guy out. He has to stay down here with us because we don't know what it feels like to, do big things and try different things and make mistakes. The main reason why we do the things that we do, or the crabs that try to get out of the bucket, or the ones that have made it out of the bucket, is because we don't know any other way to live life. We don't know what life is at the bottom of the bucket. We've never had that as a thought in our head. The only thought in our head is out of the bucket. Like, that's the only thought going on in the head. You can sit there and talk to us about being at the bottom of the bucket, but subconsciously something overrides all that, right? And that's essentially what's going on. And even if we make mistakes doing these next things, and we should be making mistakes, because nothing amazing comes out of just trying once, right? There's a ton of mistakes to make, 100 billion mistakes to be made until you find something amazing that works. And so, I feel as if I've been pretty transparent with a lot of the things that I've tried to do coming out of the bucket. But there are a lot of setbacks too. One of the biggest setbacks we ever had with the green room was we double charged 300 plus members. Like, we double charged them. Like, one day I just woke up and they're like, hey, we got double charged. Like, what the hell, And if you think about it, 300 plus members at double charging X amount, like, it was like $28,000. And think about that for a second. I'm like, oh my God, like, I have 28,000 extra dollars here, right, in the account. Like, that's not good. Like, what happened, right? And trying to reverse all that, you can imagine the headache and all that kind of stuff. We had to get with the CEO of that company talking personally to us about the mistake. Like, that's how bad it was. So mistakes are made, right? But we don't know what it feels like any other way than out of the bucket. And anybody that's ever trying something in YouTube land, I want you guys to think about this for 1 second. But anyone that's ever trying anything, I don't care if it's a paid site, I don't care if it's a website, I don't care if it's a Patreon account, I don't care if it's a workshop, I don't care if it's whatever. Like, you want to build a course, you get to do that, right? You get to do that because that's how you're thinking. And maybe you don't want to be at the bottom of the bucket anymore, right? And you want to get out. And that is 100% like, you have my full support every single way that you try to get out of that bucket, because I'll tell you, on the other side of the bucket is a lot of fun. Like, so that's basically it. Don't ever let people try to take you down. And just remember that crabs on the bucket thing mentality. Like, if you're destined to be out of the bucket, then no amount of haters are going to keep you away from getting out. It's just the way it is. 10K on the basis, I've been punching crabs in the nuts on the way out of the bucket. Originally, it was annoying, but now they invigorate me. Yes. So that's what it is. GGC said, hey, Chris, I'll yank you out of the bucket. Please do. Yeah, and a lot of the ways, climbing up each other's backs to get out of the bucket, that's a good way too, because you can't get out of the bucket without other people helping you out of the bucket. Everyone has to kind of proceed forward for every crab to come out of the bucket. The problem is not every crab will get out of the bucket, right? And so out of the bucket might be 5 crabs, and one makes it out. The other, the other crab reaches his hand down there, tries to pull some of the other ones up, and that's why you see some of these shows with like other people on them, and inspirational this or inspirational that. And we're trying to bring those dedicated people forward. That's the reason why the green room even exists. It's the reason why we want to partner up with like-minded people, is because it's essentially our crab hand coming out, or maybe we're in the middle of the crabs coming out of the bucket. I don't know, but essentially both of our hands are, trying to help other crabs. Like, there's a crab trying to help us, we're trying to help another crab, and that's essentially what it is. So if any time that you see, hate or whatever like that, just remember what's going on. This stuff is happening from the bottom of the bucket, and hate always comes the way of the crab that's trying to get out of the bucket every single time. So I love how you can make an analogy and not name anybody. Like, that's the perfect way to do it. Because I'm not better than anybody else. I just know that I wasn't destined, and I never will be destined to be in the bucket, period. I might get out of another bucket into another one, right? I'll climb out of this one and get into the fitness bucket, which I'll start at the very bottom again, but that's okay. I'll still work my way out of that one. It's the way it is. Yeah, so just look, the crabs in the bucket thing is not my original thought. So please don't like, oh, Bonafide said it first. Like I'm not. No, no. Cheddar weather. Okay, I said that one, but the crabs in the bucket thing, I did not make that one up. Yeah, just trust me. And Pick It for Profit's going to close it out with this amazing comment. He says, "How do I get rid of crabs?" All right, so I think that's a perfect place to end the show. Right, this is a Q&A, and I thought it was not. I think it was going to be less philosophical or like whatever I just did for a past hour and like involved you guys, but we covered a little bit of Q&A. We covered up my private label thing, and we got some ideas for a good contest. So you know what? I consider this a success of a show. If you guys like the Q&A kind of thing, let me know. I'll try to do one a week. Tomorrow, the last video of the meetup drops. Okay, so that's going to be an important video. Check it out. You'll get to see the actual meetup, and that's a lot of fun. Today, later on today, we have a person, my personal friend, that I was, I went on vacation. Anyway, I'll explain it on the show. You'll see what it's all about. I went on vacation. I met this person, and I was like, oh my God, like this person, I really completely underestimated this person, like what they did with their lives. So this person is going to be on the show tonight. It's a person that went from pizza delivery boy to now opening up his 4th franchise with Domino's Pizza. Now that's an amazing story. Trust me. So that's going to be on the show tonight. That's at 8 o'clock Central. And outside of that, it's pretty much it. I'll let you guys know when the private label thing gets some more steam behind it or if something happens. Go check out my other channel, Bod Damn, on YouTube. Very important channel. Go check out. And go check out Bod Damn on Instagram if you want to see a little bit more daily stuff and motivation. I think I'll leave you with this last thought. Sometimes it's hard. Being a reseller is very tough, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're not around like-minded people all the time, it's easy to just revert to your normal daily kind of things, like whether it's sitting in a chair and like listening to music and podcasts and all that kind of, you're still sitting in a chair, you're not moving around like every hour, you're not drinking your water or whatever, you're not doing healthy things, you're just resorting back to your normal stuff. This is normal because as a reseller, it's lonely. It just is. So you got to be around the right kind of people. But constant stimulation through your day until you get through, let's say, 58 days of something better or a better habit, you're going to need that stimulation. And I think Instagram stories are a perfect way to look at that and go, okay, like I know this person's doing this, it's healthy, like, what the hell is my life coming to? Like I need to like start doing this, or I need to do healthy things all the time because I'm looking at the Instagram story and going, man, they're eating well or eating correctly all the time. Like he's taking pictures of his water, like he's very cognizant of all the stuff that's needed to make a day right. So check out my Instagram stories. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I try to put up a lot of stuff that has to do with fitness and food and active, healthy lifestyle in there. So if you need a constant reminder, I plan to do this until this thing gets stale, right? I'm not doing it for the amount of people that are going to watch it. I do it because it's a way to connect with people. And I do it because it's a way for me before, let's say, I build something really amazing. It's a way for me to share with you guys and gals like what I'm doing. So think about it. Not saying you have to. And and the last thing that I want to say is if you have to leave the Bonafide Hustler channel because it's kind of going a little different direction than what you're accustomed to, let me just tell you one thing. Thank you very much for being here, supporting me. If I got 1, 2, 3, 4 years out of you, thank you so much, right? Thank you for all the comments that you might have put, and thank you for the likes that you might have done to my videos. But yeah, I understand if you have to go, and it's just a different part of my life that I'm definitely going to open up to everyone else. So if it's not really up your alley, I do understand. With that, guys, I will be done with this broadcast. It's good to see everybody. I'll see you on the Hangout tonight. Take it easy. Goodbye.